Hey, hey, Rambo.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. It's good to hear your voice. It's been a minute.
It feels like it's been ages, doesn't it?
It really has. Last time we spoke was over a week ago. We usually don't go that long. That's new territory for us.
Yeah. Not much has been going on anywhere, has it?
I know.
It's been a bit quiet. The only thing that's really been like kind of popping up more and more with like the average person talking about on the street is monkey pox.
Oh, yes.
Like,
oh, yes.
I'm hearing it everywhere.
What's the word? What's the flavor? What's the flavor of discussion?
The new
over
COVID,
there?
that's kind of what they're talking. Like the people that aren't into conspiracy stuff seem to think like it's the new COVID where I am. And are we going to get locked down again and stuff like that?
I heard it was flu-like symptoms. Monkeypox presents mostly with flu-like symptoms. We just talked about that not that long ago, about how anytime our immune system is tested, we're going to get a set of basic symptoms, and they fall into like the cold and flu-like category.
And bumps on you, like mumps on your body, shingles, is
shingles, it? Yes. Okay, I will say shingles are they're so painful. I had them once as an adult. They are nothing to mess around with. They are so, so painful. It has to do with nerve pain. It's like the pain is it's so bad. However, I will say, the reason that they come about is because of stress, and extreme levels of stress, emotional toxicity within the body can kind of bring to life this dormant threat that's always within our body. It's just this kind of lingering thing.
Is it something you get, like they say, if you don't have chicken pox as a kid?
They say that, but I had chicken pox.
Yeah. Do you remember chicken pox parties?
Did you do those? I do. Our parents would bring kiddos around. Everyone, if one kid in the neighborhood had chicken pox, all the kids would go play at their house. The chicken pox theoretically would spread. And that whole idea of chicken pox spreading in that way isn't necessarily set science. I don't even think that chicken pox were as contagious as they say. Because brothers and sisters in the same house can get chicken pox. Like one can have chicken pox, the other doesn't get it. Anyway. So there's who knows what's really going on there, but yes, definitely chickenpox parties. I've got a scar.
I kind of thought with it, what they might say is to really scare people is it's a reaction to the vaccine, and it's
that's what people. I mean, that's kind of what they're saying that without saying that, like with the whole resurgence of AIDS as well.
Yeah.
Like AIDS is back in the narrative. Oh my God.
And they're saying a 3-week isolation period.
For the monkeypox? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so it's like back to lockdown all over again anyway.
Yeah, it's like they're planting the seed, and then you've got Biden saying like, oh, it's serious and stuff like that. And that's how it all kind of started last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was far away and then made its way over to us, do you know?
And of course, the vaccine conversation around it. You mentioned vaccines in the sense that like maybe this is a result of over-vaccination or getting vaccines at all. We get this rebound effect that we're calling monkeypox. But on the other side of the conversation is we need to vaccinate ourselves against monkeypox. So
another vaccination. Yeah, it's
more.
I do feel like they might even mainstream push that is a reaction to the vaccine. Like, I feel like that's what they're going to push, because imagine the fear that will kind of get through everyone who's been vaccinated. That,
so much
oh my
fear.
God, I'm going to get monkeypox, and then they'll get, oh, the conspiracy theorists were right. It's like,
it's a whole spiral. Yeah. Speaking of fear. You hit the nail on the head here. I think that there's another like interwoven narrative fear within the monkeypox strain, whatever we're calling it. So I'm hearing lots of chatter about how the monkeypox seems to be related to like gay activity. Apparently there was like a gay pride event on the Canary Islands, and then there was like some sauna activity with gay guys canoodling in the sauna in Madrid. This is like, that goes back to the gay epidemic. That goes back to, the AIDS, not the gay epidemic, the AIDS epidemic. It was kind of one and the same. In the 80s, like gay and AIDS were synonymous essentially because AIDS was packaged as a gay disease. Like if you were a heterosexual man or woman, you really didn't need to have AIDS on your radar, except as like a shame vector, like oh, this person's bad because they're gay and now they're at risk for AIDS. Anyway, so like AIDS and being gay were together. Like it was a coexisting disease. I don't think AIDS actually existed. I think that they just there was like this epidemic of really dangerous behavior, like open drug use. There was just a lot of stuff going on within certain populations and communities in certain high traffic areas, like in New York City. And they just, I think, capitalized on societal issues and then pumped a subset of people full of these AIDS drugs, and that was like what actually killed them. I don't really think AIDS has ever really been a threat. I think, again, it's a way to like, because if you look at the symptoms of AIDS, go look at the symptoms. It's, again, like fever, fatigue,
everything.
It's just what you get, headache. It's so non-committal on like what the things actually are. Anyway, okay, so all that to say, I think that when they can couple these new and exotic diseases that we don't really understand, when they can couple that with a shame vector and gay, even though it's like we're out and proud these days, even it's still kind of like a them versus us sort of thing. And so if they can couple it with being gay, like make monkeypox then it just adds like a whole other layer of, again, shame, disgust, blame, them, us. If someone does get it, people are like, oh, are you gay? It's like, no. It's like, I don't even think you can get it. And when I say get it, I mean test positive. Oh my gosh. This is just...
I haven't looked where it's even come from. I literally just put it, and they're saying it's come from Africa.
Is the Canary Islands in Africa? My geography is so bad. I don't even know.
The Canary Islands isn't in that. Yeah, it's on the border. It's I've been to the Canary Islands. You kind of see
it's
Africa
a Spanish
from there.
archipelago off the coast of Northwest Africa. Okay. All right. Interesting. The Canary Islands. Oh, that reminds me of the canary in the coal mine. You know that allegory? Back in the day, there used to be... in the coal mines, the people down there, they would be breathing in all that toxic coal. So they say it was just like their lungs would just be completely like an onslaught of just black, soot, and they breathe that in. And then so these humans would be accompanied by a yellow canary down in the coal mines with them. And when the canary died of the inhalation of all this toxicity, that's when they knew that it was time to get out of the mine. And so, but the canary in the coal mine also means like time's up. It's a synonym or a metaphor for something that time's up. So I don't know, this fact that the monkeypox is coming from the Canary Islands makes me feel like it's more of a wink nod to time being up.
Yeah, and they needed. For them to be able to do something like a lockdown, again, it needs to be worse than COVID. It needs to be worse. And this kind of looks and sounds worse. That's how I gauge it by...
It's called monkeypox. Like, how great is that? I'm looking a cursory look. I cannot see any connection to monkeys. Like, I can't see why they used the name monkeypox quite yet. It's not immediately apparent.
It says here that it was called monkeypox because it was first identified in a laboratory for monkeys.
Okay, there we go. Makes total sense. Let's just call it monkeypox. We found it here. Let's name it that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of gauge it off the average people I meet in the street who don't know, but that's how I kind of gauge how serious people taking it, and I think that they are. I think that they could have everybody again with it. That's what it's looking like here. When I'm speaking to people, it's like, oh my God, seeing this monkeypox on the news. We've been locked down. When you speak to people and they've talked about being locked down, some of these people was really locked down. Like they didn't leave the houses. And it's happening again. Like I spoke to a few people recently and they was actually locked themselves away for the whole time. They
self-isolated? There's monkeypox for this month?
No, but they're getting ready to. They're like, I don't want to have to be locked away again.
Oh, they did it last time and now they're prepping to do it this time.
Yeah, and they're dreading it again.
Are they dreading it or are they kind of looking forward to it? Some people,
Well, I think some people like
get
the
comfort.
drama.
Yeah, the drama. There's a lot of comfort to be taken in
And they feel part of it, like they're helping. It's
very Stockholm syndrome, which is essentially when you start to feel a kinship and pleasant feelings towards your captors, and you begin to take honor with your isolation and with your captivity. Ooh, I think we're kind of approaching Stockholm syndrome levels of isolation.
Did you see another thing that went on is this lottery win? Did you see that? Was that a big thing over there?
Yes, it wasn't over here, but you sent that to me. Okay, so explain
184 million.
Okay, yeah.
They won, so it's like the biggest Euro Millions winners or something. And the story was that this guy won. He won it, but he didn't tell his wife until the next day. So he'd won, but he thought, I surprise her and tell her tomorrow that we've won 184 million. So he didn't tell her at the time, told her the next day, and went home. And
could you go to sleep that night if you knew you had won? Could you go to sleep and not tell your partner? Like, there would be no way I could keep my mouth shut for that.
Yeah, so they come out public, like, I think it was the 10th. Was it the 10th of May? They won it on the 10th of May and they come out public, like, I think the 15th or something like that. And they'd done this little interview and it was just looked like, to me, I've still got it saved, it just looked like they were actors, and it looked to me as well, it looked like a woman in a fat suit with a wig on, right? That's what I seen. And she talked about it being not real. This win isn't even real. She said something like that.
She said those exact words. And the logo for y'all's lottery is the crossed fingers.
Crossed fingers.
Which by itself, you hold a crossed finger up, as a good luck, or as a way to say that you're fibbing.
Yeah.
In the Truman Show, I'll never stop referencing this movie, but in the Truman Show, one of the things that really got him for it to click in that this whole thing around him was a ruse, that everybody around him was acting, was when he was going through his photo albums and he saw that his wife, Meryl, had crossed her fingers in their wedding photo. Like, it wasn't real for her. Like, he saw that she had her fingers crossed. Like, why on earth would anybody cross their fingers and not like a cross their fingers good luck, but the cross their fingers, I'm not telling the truth style. So that when I saw that on like the background, they were just sitting in front of this little backdrop.
Yeah, they were just sat right in front of it.
She was like, none of this is real. And I was like, oh boy, they really tell us.
I first thought when I looked at her, I thought, that's Kate Garraway. I don't know if you'll know who Kate Garraway is. She's like a radio presenter on all the TV.
I didn't know her, but when you sent me both pictures, I was like, yeah, that's that lady in a fat suit for sure.
Feeling from it that's who it was. Like, she has books, she has everything. She's on all of this daytime TV shows. It just kind of, that's who it looked like.
What do you think about the lottery in general? Like,
I don't think that there is any big winners. I don't think that people actually win millions on the lottery.
Right.
I think people win. Yeah. People win a few thousand or whatever, but I don't believe people win 184 million, or I don't believe they win 10 million. I don't believe that they win the lottery. It's kind of like a tax in a way for the poor people who just think one day I'm going to win rich. And some people who I know actually put like 30, 40 quid a week on it to win. Wow. Like,
and that's not nothing. Yeah. I mean, over time, when you think about like your retirement account or whatever, if you were to put 30 to 40 quid or 30 to whatever units of anything per week into a savings account, at the end of your lifetime, it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of resource. Money is not, we can have that conversation of what's money? Is it real? Is it real? Well, either way, it's a valuable resource in this version of the realm at the moment. And people are kind of throwing it away on lottery stuff.
And they have to have the same numbers every week. So they don't just put random ones on. A lot of people I know stick to the same numbers. So once you start, you're not going to stop. It's gambling forever, because your numbers are never going to come in.
Right. Right. Yeah, they've got their lucky numbers. And then you hear of these groups that go in and like they pull, they pull their resources together, and then they buy like a big block of tickets. And then if they hit it, then they split it. They split it all equally, but there's always like a lot of drama over someone saying, "Hey, I should be in that pie," and or they win, and the person just like takes, the person that realizes they win takes all the money and goes away.
Yeah.
And then no lottery discussion could ever be complete without the talk of Zorro Ranch winning the New Mexico lottery multiple times. Jeffrey Epstein's, not even Jeffrey Epstein, who doesn't exist. He just exists on paper. He is a fictional character. But the estate tied to Jeffrey Epstein in New Mexico, that Zorro Ranch estate has won the lottery. A non-person has won the lottery multiple times. That's definitely something to look into. It's not a singular thing to Jeffrey Epstein's estate, Zorro Ranch. Estates and non-persons win the lottery a lot. It's a lot more than you'd realize. The lottery is just a way to move some funds here, there, and everywhere. It's a money laundering system, and because we participate in it, we legitimize it, and we think it's real. But you're right, Rambo. I don't think anybody.
And they always have that big check.
Oh, yeah.
The big check, and it's purple. It's always purple,
Yes.
Yeah. I think, would you come out public, say it was real, you would. I don't believe you would come out public with 184 million. I believe that is to advertisement. Like, if they can do it, we can do it. And they also told us, like, the rumor, everyone was talking about, these people who won it was rich already.
Oh, that's going to make everybody even more angry.
Yeah, that's like, does make people angry. That they shouldn't have even got that. They could have split that 184 million ways. That's how I've been having a couple of conversations with people about it, just testing to see what they think about it. Well, everybody gets worked up about it. You're right. Like, there's a lot of it's very lushy. It's emotional. I mean, on every side of it. I remember, I grew up in a little bit of a gambling household. My dad was very into going to Las Vegas to play the craps tables. That was his big gambling adventures, and he'd do it often. But when we weren't traveling to Las Vegas as a family, or him going alone, it was scratchers, or the lottery ones. My parents did that all. We never won. My mom was really lucky. She has like this. She would like just. She didn't gamble, but she would like just put a quarter in a slot machine, pull a thing, and win $200. She just had a very lucky accidental way about her, and she would also get a scratch off and be the one to win $50, $100, and so you see that and you're like, wow, it's real. But then when I really calculate how much we spent over our lifetime, we spent way more than $50 on scratch offs, because each one's 1 or 5 or sometimes even 10, and that's what I see too. When I go to the gas station, I mostly see people buying not a little scratch off when they're buying the scratchers. I see them buying these like big ticket scratch. Some of the scratch offs cost like $20, $30, $50. And some people buy 10 of them.
Yes. Yes, and
I can honestly say I've never bought a scratch off in my life ever.
As an adult, I have not, but as a child, I guess I've never bought them because I didn't. But as a kid, that was like a fun, quote unquote, fun thing for us to do as a family, was sit in my mom's car and look for a penny in her little cup holder and then scratch off the scratch offs that we had. And, I'd go real slow. I wanted to go real slow, so methodical. I felt like if I could study the card really, and then really like almost like an anthropologist, like on a dig, like digging for dinosaur bones. I would scratch it off so like carefully and see each like, oh, is that a rare find? Did I find a fossil? I was like so ginger and careful with it. Didn't really help the outcome, but I thought that I could
I did a post a while back about, it was probably last year, about people, I don't believe that people win the lottery, and it kind of got mixed thing. I know people, it's always I know someone, and I know, it's like everything,
If I had $1 for everyone who knew someone on these big things, we'd basically win the lottery. We know so many.
Yeah.
Everything. Oh I know someone who was in that. I know someone.
I've been getting on Instagram like a few messages recently as well about sloths. So I feel like I'm gonna have to go going on them.
So are people upset? Are people upset?
Well, we first check. You know what I'm checking?
The penises.
The dicks, yeah.
Have you
guess
not?
how many they've got? They've got two.
Okay, they've got two. They've got two. All
two,
right.
3 centimeter penises.
2, 3. That's tiny. That's my. That's
so they've got
bitty.
two of those. They've got 2 vaginas and 2 uteri. It says, which that's a red flag straight away. Then obviously we've got the avocado thing that, and then they're a dinosaur as well.
Red flag.
I'm still like collecting on there, just like
2
collecting
penises,
bits and bobs.
2 vaginas, 2 uteruses.
And you can't find any videos of them mating. But I do know one of our listeners, Justin, actually sent me a picture of him holding a sloth. So
well, I've seen a sloth up close at the Dallas World Aquarium.
Was it an animatronic though?
No, it didn't look animatronic, but there's, well, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't awake back then.
Is it made? Could it be that they make, like we've talked about this all the times, there's no way that survives in the wild.
Right. It was just moving in super slow motion in the tree. And I was like, ooh, look. Yeah, I didn't get to touch it. I didn't get to get close to it, but I was like close enough to see it, you know?
Yeah. But
I don't know.
When you say you get to hold one, like it's not normal for an animal to have 2 penises, surely. Do you know, like there's something wrong there? Do you know?
That seems to be a really common thing. Like you're finding that all these animals, a common denominator.
Koalas have 2 or 3 as well. It's like
When did you ever learn that it was somewhat quote unquote normal for animals and to have multiple genitalia? Never. I feel like that would have been.
Hopefully, I'm letting people know about this.
I feel like as a kid in school, that would be like kids would know about that. Kids would be like, "Did you know that this animal has X penises?" Like, I feel like that. It feels like something kids would gravitate to immediately. The fact that like we're just learning that makes me feel like they're kind of like making this shit up as they go.
The video I kept getting sent. I got sent it about 10 times, really, and it's this sloth in a tree, and a human passing this baby sloth up to it. Yeah. And it just looked like a teddy bear.
Oh my
God. If you look at pictures on videos of sloths over the last 10 years and look at pictures and videos of sloths 20 years ago, different. It just looks different. Like it looks like they have like moss on the back, and they're always like little cute videos, you know, where you're like, oh, it's a sloth. They're used as like a do you know what I mean? Like pajamas and stuff like that.
Yeah, they anthropomorphize it, like meaning they turn it into like a human. Like they give
like a panda.
Yeah, like kind of like a panda. Dress it up.
Yeah, they want you to look like adore and love it. They're like, how cute. Yeah. But I'm not having it that there's a sloth just out there in the bushes in the wild. That's not in a zoo.
I just looked up and it says apparently, according to the San Diego Zoo. Ancient sloths could grow to be as large as an elephant. And they roamed North America. Oh, and they became extinct 10,000 years ago. But somehow they came back. What? They crawled their way back very slowly. Very, very slowly. Yeah, apparently they went extinct 10,000 years ago. But
and the mating ritual is weird as well.
Well, what do? They got to buy 2 dinners for both vaginas?
Well, the male uses anal secretions on tree branches to advertise their presence, while females emit high-pitched mating calls. But it doesn't look
that booty
right.
Juice? Oh my god!
But I posted this video on my Instagram story. I think it's this guy, and he's got like a puppet sloth. So he's like, it's on sticks, you know, like a. And it looks so real. It looks like a real sloth. But I'm still halfway through finding stuff. I'm just collecting, and then I want to like put out like a little highlight on my Instagram of like all the possible things wrong with a sloth.
Little smile too. Like they're always kind of like smiling at you, like with this like smiley, sleepy face.
Yeah, the sleepy face. And I've done a little bit on koalas the other week, and when I look at this, I'm not saying they don't exist, like they're not there, but they're not natural. They're not just like they're a man's, in my opinion, it's a man's creation. All these animals we're pointing out they're not that. Maybe it's not that they don't exist, but I feel like a lot of these videos we see online, as I've talked about loads of times, are not real. And I've never got to that on Instagram, and maybe post that today actually, Joe.
Yeah, illuminate Instagram with all that
short
stuff.
clips of animal stuff. Like on Instagram now, my whole feed is just like gorillas, koala bears, all those, penises, gorilla penises.
You're gonna get shut down for indecency. Rambo, just don't post a female human nipple. That'll get you banned for life. Yeah. Do not. But you can post all the sloth penises to your heart's desire.
It doesn't even let me post bodysuits anymore on my page for nudity.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll show you. Yeah, it'll give you that. Like it won't even let you upload.
It doesn't let you upload anymore. And there was one the other day it wouldn't let me upload, and it was relating to that Buffalo shooting. I thought it was looked identical to that New Zealand shooting years ago. Do you remember the one where he went in a mosque and he's had a little camera on his thing and he's running about? And I posted a video kind of shows as he shoots the bullets, he just disappear into thin air.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to post it over and over for days, and it kept not letting me post it. And then all of a sudden it let me post it, and then brought up a warning a few hours later to say, take it down.
There's something there. It looked, the footage of the Tops shooter in, no, I'm getting all of these mixed up. Okay.
So it was like, what did you say? It was a white supremacist again.
So this was in the grocery store, right? The Tops grocery store in Buffalo.
And
okay, that's right.
Live streamed shooting people. I've only watched the video once because I looked up one look and I was like, this is bullshit straight away.
The fact that video got out though.
Yeah. Why was we allowed to watch
exactly. It shows that it was purposefully, like they wanted it to go viral. Yeah, and there's people saying, oh, we were trying to take it down. The Twitch, I think, was the original streaming platform. They're like, oh, we tried to take it down, but it got immediately shared. Some random ass video is not going to get immediately shared like that. Like things do not go viral unless they are meant to. And this one was meant to. It was meant to go viral immediately. And also it was meant to have people, like all these switches to fall into place of being like, oh, we Twitch is able to go, oh, we tried to take it down and we did, but we can't help if people shared it after we took it down or whatever. Like everybody's got like their culpability.
So that got out, but I can't post a video of a bodysuit.
But it existed on Twitter. You could watch it on Twitter for the official on the official news, and it had the warning and everything. They wanted everybody to see that.
And put the warning on it. If you didn't put the warning on it, it wouldn't be as appealing.
I know people click that warning. They're like, "Yeah, give it to me." That starts like the adrenaline drip in their mind.
It was in May, warning. So I noticed a lot of people taking the knee again and stuff like that over it. But George Floyd was in May. Is it May like white supremacist month? I don't know. It's like
When did the George Floyd thing?
25th. I think it was the 25th of May.
Oh my gosh, that's tomorrow. Yeah, May 25th, 2020. 25th is tomorrow. Well, speaking of being in May 20s, the Queen is still kicking, scooting around, moving here and there and everywhere. She's never been more mobile in her whole entire life.
But she's got a big thing coming up soon, hasn't she? The big Platinum Jubilee or whatever it's called.
The Platinum
That's coming
Jubilee.
Up very soon. Will they do it after that? Will they do it just before that? And I feel like she's got to go very soon. Time is ticking. Her time is up. Mm-hmm. They need to tell us soon that she's dead. I feel like they're waiting, as we say, for the dates. It might even be that, in my opinion, I was thinking like maybe like the 6th of the 6th. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like 6th of June.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! Really ham up those numbers. What I think is also pretty interesting is the conversation really has switched. I've been seeing a lot more headlines about like the future of the Commonwealth after the Queen. Like, does it, and you even brought up how you guys are going to vote on it. This is this whole chapter of British monarchy, which seems to be an immovable mountain. I feel like, or like one of those pillars holding up society. I feel like it's about to crumble. It's about to be completely taken down to the studs, non-existent anymore. I don't know. What do you think, Rambo? What do you think the future is of the monarchy?
I think with the Queen and stuff, I think I've talked about this before, where I think they've made it so Camilla, who is like married into the royal family, is now the Queen. So when she dies, Camilla, who's not even the family, becomes the Queen. So then what happens if they then take Charles off the scene? Then they've got someone who's the Queen who's not actually even the royal family.
Oh my goodness. And she was always a polarizing figure with the whole Diana and Camilla, their whole, they were like pitted against.
Whatever it was, yeah.
The
like
affair. Yeah. And
my thing is, I think that it's like they're trying to revamp the royal family in it. And I feel like the way they could do that is bringing in William and what's she called? Kate.
Yep, William and Kate. Shout out to Les Luther. He was talking about how he finds her to be really hot. He finds Kate to be really hot, but he's like, I bet the tranny gate's all over her. And I was like, yeah, she kind of has a masculine jawline, but I feel like the tranny gate keeps knocking at our door. Again, I don't think it's as simple as we put it out there of just putting a wig on a man, on a man and calling him a woman. Or I think there's some greater, vaster manipulation stirring the whole tranny gate thing.
I found this thing on Reddit, and there's a bit out there about it when I've looked, and it's called a Freemartin, and it's basically like a female skeleton with everything looks like a female apart from the
genitalia.
Yeah, and they can kind of get away with playing both things. And so when you look for the example of it, it gives it in cattle. So basically, a female bull will look like a male bull, exactly at bone structure, everything except for the genitalia. And
that's
some people believe this can happen in humans, and they believe that there's a lot of stuff on there. It's got me down that rabbit hole, to be honest with you. And
you sent this to me. It's originally it's in animal husbandry, the mating of animals. Like, this is a real thing. There are certain bulls, there are certain genetic qualifiers that every once in a while there will be a female bull, which is not possible, but it's essentially because if bulls are male with the testes, but it's essentially a bull body. Everything, the mass, the shaping, the musculature, all the ratios, making a difference between a bull and a calf or a bull and a cow or whatever, male, female. It is it's a bull, but it's got the female sex organs, like just like you said. But if you were looking at it, if you were lining up a bull and then this Freemartin, and it's a real thing in the animal kingdom. And so when Rambo sent that to me a couple months ago, I guess. I mean, that kind of got me thinking, too, about how this, if it happens in the animal kingdom, maybe it also is something that happens within the human.
I'm still down the rabbit hole of it, right? And there's a video. So the guy who does it, right, he used to do tranny-gate videos, and then he changed his whole view and then said these Freemartins are a whole different species of human. And they're all around us, and these are the ones that are running the show. It's like interesting. He's got an interesting video. It's hard to explain without watching it, but I'll try and find a link and post. It's actually it's an interesting video. And I sent him off a message as well, just to ask him about it. He's replied as well.
I feel that if they were all that common, because I grew up playing sport. I've been in locker rooms. I feel like I would have encountered, if this was as common as it sounds, I feel like I would have encountered at the swimming pool growing up. Like, you would have maybe seen this.
Yeah. I still lean towards the Hollywood makeup kind of stuff. I've still nothing's kind of pulled me away, as in like convinced me enough that it's not
Occam's
just all
razor.
Hollywood.
Simplest explanation is most likely true. And the simplest explanation being
it's just an interesting thought.
A feminization of males and a masculinization of natural-born females, and there's ways to manipulate how that presents with using unsophisticated, Hollywood makeup, wigs, teeth, prosthetics here, there, everywhere. Also, we get a little bit more sophisticated. We're talking about some chemical additions. You can easily, if I were to start taking testosterone right now, right this very minute, in 2 months' time, I would have measurable musculature. My face will change. My jaw will widen. My brow will become slightly more prominent. I will start. I could look pretty butch in 2 months. I'd be down there, roiding out, raging out, hulking out. Just wait, just you wait. 2 months. That's all I need. So there are ways to, and that's not doing anything else. And that's just using medication that I can just casually get. Like, I bet any person, I could walk into my doctor's office and say, "Hey doc, I think I'm curious." And they'd go, "Here's all the medication you need,"
They just throw it at you now. Like,
they would just throw it at me. No conversation needed. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you, like, again, it's like like you said before, like it feels like the end times. I feel like what we talk about before, we said it's like the
at the fall of every civilization.
The fall of everything, yeah.
At the fall of every civilization, there's a period
with all
of
these things.
Yeah, there's a period of gender fluidity.
Like today is actually Pansexual Day. I don't know what the hell that is.
Wait, what does pansexual even mean? If pancakes aren't involved, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah. So that's what's trending on Twitter today. Pansexual Day. And
Okay,
it's bringing out all these.
I should know
bringing
this.
out
What does
all
pansexual
these celebrities. So
bisexual.
Miley Cyrus is a pansexual. There's so many it's brought up. But one that surprised. Well,
okay,
it
so it's
me,
romantic, emotional, sexual attraction to people regardless of gender. But how does that? What makes that different than like a bias?
It just like it's more names and more things to get offended by. If you don't call me this when do you know what I mean? That's what I feel. But like, there's one. My kids used to watch this show called JoJo Siwa. I don't know if you know what it is.
Yeah, yes.
She's come out as one. I'm a pansexual. I'm not gay, and I'm a pansexual. But I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know what it means. It's confusing, all these names. But yeah, it's all this being like kind of pushed. It's
okay. And I say this a lot, but we really don't really understand the male and female anatomy all that well. Yeah, it's kind of obtuse. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. That's kind of like our rule of thumb. However, while we're developing, like while we're inside, who knows really what goes on in the womb? That's a whole other thing. Like, who knows what is going on in there? But while we're developing, there is a point where we're not either. We're not a boy or a girl yet. We are just this kind of nebulous mass of cells. And then the cells start kicking on. The Y chromosomes start kicking on. We start out with just X chromosome. And then girls will develop another X. And then, or you boys will develop a Y instead of another X. And that Y chromosome actually takes what everybody has, the same, and sends it out. And the X chromosome keeps it in. And so when a boy is born and he's got his, oh my God, I can remember saying this, the penis and the balls and all that stuff, that theoretically is exactly the same as what's inside a female, except it's not unfolded. It's folded up the other way. It's really strange how similar the ovaries and the testes are. They're basically the same. They're just in different directions. And it's very, very wild anatomically. And then, the finished product does different things, but they start out with the same material, same resources.
Yeah. But ultimately, there's only two genders, and it seems so offensive to say that nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is only two. Like, sorry, guys. Like,
apparently they're okay. XX is female and XY is male, and that's the most common. But apparently, and those are called karyotypes with a K, the X and Y chromosomes. But okay, there's also theoretically there's people that are just born with X. They didn't get another X, and so it's like 1 in 5,000 people have just one X chromosome. I'm not sure exactly how that presents, but I guess you don't get the full female expression. And then there's XXY, and so that's females with a little bit of male expression. There's also XYY, that's males with extra maleness, and then there's XXXY, it's males with femininity. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I really fall on this, but I do think that there's something about religious texts and religious iconography and idols. Certain religions actually keep these male, female presenting figures as as high religious idols. I know in Indian faiths, there's like a male, female. I can't remember what it's called. It's not Shiva, the destroyer. I can't remember. I think it's the elephant that presents it. I can't remember. But there's something about this genderless or all gender, not even genderless, but all gender sort of thing that is. It's something to be looked at, and they're definitely pushing it on us right now.
Yeah, and they use celebrities like the headline there is like Jojo Siwa is inspiring thousands to come out as a pansexual. Like they're using these celebrities to make, like my kids used to love watching that. That she'll probably be like, oh yeah, she's. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's cool if I do that. Do you know, like that's how they kind of.
We render as we go.
And down.
We render as we go. We're rendering this reality as we move forward. Do you think they feed us all this nonsense, and so theoretically we make, because it's in our minds, the possibility is in our minds, we're able, like the next generations are able to export. So
there'll be loads more in the next generation than there is this generation, and in the end, ultimately, it's depopulation agenda. If there is one, that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. As soon as because we've had this conversation before with the animals. Going back to there's certain animals that we talked about. How do we get these animals in the zoos? Or like what are these animals? Are they animatronic? Or the whatever? Well, there's certain ways you can breed. You can crossbreed animals, and to a certain point, and then the offspring that you arrive at. Could be like what you desire physically, like a horse and a donkey make a mule or whatever. But then the mule, is really strong, but the mule is not viable. You can't mate a mule for anything. You have to, again, go back one generation and do the donkey horse combo. And so I think there might be something, maybe there will be a point where I'm not saying crossbreeding like interspecies but maybe like theoretical breeding where we have these ideas in our mind, and then we breed, and then every generation gets a little bit weirder on what we export. And maybe we're going to get to a point where we have exported like a certain generation of human beings where they're like the mules. They can carry the genes, but they can't carry it along any further. They can express the genes, but they can't carry it on.
Interesting. That I like that. I like that thought. Actually, that could be where we're heading. Like.
Do you think we're going to get, because right now all the celebrities are pansexual. What does that even mean? It's like we're at this hypersexual point.
I want to know, why do we need to know? Why is it so thingy now to tell people who you're having sex with? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, don't get it. Like, you need to...
Yeah, why does it need to be so
public? Like, I'm this identity. Or I'm like... Ultimately, I don't care. Do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, do what you want to do. Like, we don't need to know. That's the thing. But they kind of want everyone to shout about it. And also, then in doing that, though, they're creating a group of people. And like, you group there in their own thing, and then there can be victims. And I'm a victim of this. I'm a victim of that. And you're under a flag. You've got your own flag. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's all flags for all sorts of stuff now, isn't there? Like, even like there's a transgender flag. Do you know what I mean?
The entire alphabet has been added to the LGBTQ. Like, there's
and it will continue. It will continue to grow, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's weird they're kind of making it feel like you don't fit it. Say you was like a really lonely person, got no, and you feel like you wanted to fit in somewhere, then just say, I'm a pansexual.
I'm pans.
I'm pans. Let me in the club.
Bros. Man. Hey kids. Hey fellow cool kids. I'm pansexual too.
Hey cool cats and kittens.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens. I'm a pan just like y'all. I can't. Childhood.
But I can see how kids can fall into that. So like a kid at school could think, do you know what? All the cool cats and kittens are just saying pan, so I want to go with them. Do you know what I mean? I'll fit in there. Do you know? There is that some people, and also Jojo Siwa's one.
Yeah.
may as well. Do you know, like, I
It's
feel like
hard
that,
enough as an adolescent to find your true identity. We're not really allowed to be our unique selves. Anyone who's their unique self in school is like an outcast, you know, the whole, my entire, every single, every cell in my body was screaming to conform when I was in school. I was like, don't be yourself. That's the worst thing you can do. You have to be like this popular girl or this popular girl. Like, not even just be like them. I wanted to be them. I literally wanted to
start off
be
as an actor, like
them. Yes. And
we're all
so
actors.
it was like, yes. And I learned so much about how to not be myself. And it's taken a lifetime to get back to me.
So you pick a sports team, you pick, like, do you know what I mean? And you really, you don't even like sport. I don't even like watching football. I used to just watch it because that's what lads are supposed to do. Watch football. Do you know what I mean? Like, you be into cars. I didn't even like cars. I didn't care about cars, but you're just like, yeah. I remember being like that myself, like thinking, yeah. And I remember thinking like one day, like, okay, I like conspiracy theories.
Yes, and here we are. And long story short, here we are. It is pretty interesting identity. You know, then maybe that's the bigger conversation here, is not sexuality necessarily, because that's just one facet, but just identity with the big I. You know, what does that mean to each of us? I think that we are born with inherent personality types, inherent characteristics, inherent interests and aversions. And I think the more we can lean into that, the better. But life is really more about programming that out of you, programming our individualism out of us and making us choose within each of these, you know, these silos. We've got to make a choice on all these different facets of our identity. We've got to solidify it and choose from only this, you know, this small, narrow range of things to choose from. And then we become a person over time, and that's our personality. But is it really even us? For me personally, I know it wasn't me. I was trying desperately to be someone else, to be anything but myself, just desperate to not be a weirdo. Never worked. I was always weird. And here I am now, but still weird. But I think that there is something bigger with, I think that the transgenderism and pan-sexualism, I think all of that is a downriver symptom of an upriver problem. I think, or not a problem, but an upriver thing. I think it's a higher order. I think it's more to do with general identity.
Putting it out there all the time, pushing it in your faces, that means that you have to accept that, but they don't accept that you don't care about it. You have to be accepting of it, or you're a phobic, basically. And that's what I don't like. I can't just ignore it. And if I do, you're a phobic, but I don't care. Like, my thing is, I don't care. Yeah. Like, that's where I'm at with it. But you can't say I don't care.
Right.
Because then you're a phobic.
And then there's a whole category of people that are asexual, that don't engage in...
No idea what that means either.
Rambo was like, what? What in the world? You do what now with what?
Yeah.
How many penises do you have for that?
Yeah.
You have no penises, Rambo. No penises for that one. No.
Like action man.
Yeah, like, oh my God, that is like our Ken dolls, Barbie and Ken. They had those like smooth genitalia, like nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put them on them nowadays. I've not seen one for years.
Oh, I'm sure there's a schlong on Ken for sure. No, Ken's got a vagina now. Rambo.
Oh yeah, he has actually. Yeah, he will do.
He will.
Got both.
He always kind of did. He always. Oh my goodness.
You always give him that girly look, didn't
they?
They
do.
You know?
They really fem him up. This has been in the making for quite some time. It really has. You know, last point on the highly. I never talk about sex as human vibration, but I have, from a philosophy standpoint, one of my favorite philosophers, Soren Kierkegaard. He famously talked about sex in a way of saying that you had to kind of choose between sex and intellectualism. How he would go through these bursts of extreme levels of writing output. All of his greatest philosophies would just pour out of him. His greatest works, his greatest ideas would pour out of him like a geyser when he was abstaining from sexual activity, when he was abstinent, when he was choosing to be abstinent. And then he would just have his most prolific works, intellectual works during these periods. And then once he felt like he was through that, then he would get kinky, get freaky with it again, and his intellectual output would completely cease while he was engaging in sexual behavior. And
I've kind of heard similar stuff to that myself.
Yeah.
I have heard.
I mean, they say that a man's IQ actually drops after he ejaculates. There's something about, like, don't try to take a test. If you were like taking the SATs or even like a driver's test or something, like don't do any funny business leading into that, because your IQ actually goes through, the body goes through what's called a refractory period, and with that refractory period is like the IQ drops a couple of points. And they say for females we have absolutely zero drop in anything, so we're good. Ladies, carry on. You're good to go. But males should be careful. So I don't know. There is something to, and even like sexuality as like the 7 deadly sins or whatever, the lust. I don't know. I'm not anti anything. I think it's a beautiful expression. I think everybody should be, as long as there's no secrets or shame, keep doing what you're doing. When you start keeping secrets about it, or you start feeling shame about whatever you're doing, that's when it's really time to reevaluate what's going on. But yeah. I don't think, and I think everybody's morality barometer is I think morality should be taken out of it. If it feels right to you, if you're not harboring shame or whatever, do what makes you do it, because everybody has their own kink or whatever. Just do you. Just, I don't know. But there is something about, like, so consumption in general, all of our lustful things like food and sex and these really base desires, what are they taking away from us? I don't know. Because on one hand, I think maybe, sex is like the sex magic. It's almost like almost like a way to tap into a higher power.
Yeah, because everything's sexualized, though. Everything on TV, everything. So
everything.
Is it as what we think it is? Do you know what I mean? Like you said, magic. Is it magic?
I do think that there is some sort of magic might be the wrong word, but I'm going to use it anyway. It's something magical happens. Listen to me. I sound like a mother talking to her daughter. Honey, when a man loves a woman, there's something so magical that happens. But I think that there is like a, and I don't, maybe dark magic, or maybe depending on maybe a mindset or maybe what, but I think there is something that happens in the beast with two backs is what they call sex. I don't know. Back to animal penises. Let's see. How many animal penis does the koala have? 3. Oh, interesting. Help me, Rambo. Help me. We'll table this discussion, but there's something there. It does.
Yeah, there's more to it. How everything is literally everything. That's how they use it to sell stuff. They sell
sex.
Everything using it. Yeah.
Even language is sex, feminine and masculine verbiage in many languages, and there's like a feminization. There's actual words. This is a female word. That's a male word. But how they end, and that is sexualization of language. It's not like sex is much broader than we know. Again, our language is really limiting. We're given these catch-all words, but there's something.
We're all casting spells.
Yeah.
Always. I was speaking to someone this the other day, and they're saying like people, just that how people can say things and it can affect you, and that's just cast a spell on you, aren't they? Do you know?
Yes, as simple as good morning, because morning means death, and so we're like constantly subconsciously reminding everyone of death in the morning time. That I have next to me one of your favorite. I know it's one of your favorite books and mine.
Yeah,
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And
I'm on a new one called The Inner Path to Outer Space. I've had it for a while and I've just really started getting into it now.
That's how I think we get there.
Yeah.
We get there from, I was just thinking.
And it's about like mushrooms and how to control the trips and stuff like that. That's what it's about. The book, it's kind of, and how the DMT is released in your brain and stuff like that. That's a really good book, actually. And it's quite, as someone who's like, I like to read like easy read books where you understand, and that is easy to understand. It's a good book, and I definitely recommend
the title
it.
One more time. What's the title again?
The Inner Paths to Outer Space.
The Inner Paths to Outer Space. I love that you bring this up. I was just thinking about this concept. I was like, time travel does exist. It just has nothing to do with our physical bodies. Like space travel, time travel, all of this, I believe, can be achieved, is achievable in a state within our consciousness, in our minds. I think that when we think about teleportation and time travel,
I kind of seen it in myself with the
mushrooms.
Yeah, kind of felt it.
I did too. And that's what I would have never had this clarity on. This is how it could be done, because my whole idea of time travel has been tied to this physical corporal body. Me taking this body and getting in some sort of little time machine and taking this physical body somewhere else and then arriving somewhere else in this phone box, but all like in this physical experience, this physical expression. It's always been tied to that. But yeah, after the mushrooms, I'm like the trip, literally the travel, the trip, travel, the traveling happens in our minds. And if we can find a way to control that, I might need to read that before I try my next mushroom thing.
Honestly, it's a really good, I'm like halfway in. I've had the book for probably about 6 months, and I just thought I'd start reading again, because I feel like you say, not much has been going on, and I just feel like sometimes I've not been scrolling as often as I would, because I already know what's there. Do you know, like?
Yeah, so I had to take a step back.
Picked up the book, and I feel like it's kind of a good. It's helping me out. It's clear, making me feel like my screen time's down massively on my phone. You know, massively, and I used to be scrolling like, looking for new things. I really can have it all in here.
Yeah. And I feel like when you do tap back in, when we take these purposeful breaks and then we tap back in, what we do find is like what we're looking for. It's a lot faster and clearer when we take a break back. I over the past week, I had to take a step back totally from social media, from everything. Like, I went through some family stuff, which is the most personalized loosh grenade that you could ever imagine. My brother has just been my whole life. He's my older brother, but I've always felt like the older sister. It's like something always going on with him. And as much as I have grown as human vibration, whenever a situation with my brother rears up, I am just teleported right back.
They pull you back in.
Just right back to my younger self, to my middle school, high school self, just totally helpless, like trapped in my family unit, just along for the ride emotionally, essentially. And even though I'm an adult now, and I am completely and entirely on my own in every way, shape, or form, if my brother if he comes back on the scene, and anytime he reaches out or anytime I get a phone call about him, it's never good. It's never positive. It's always so weird and sick and sad. It's just sad and sick, and there's nothing I can do, essentially, because I can't save him. It's just like so I just feel even more helpless, and it's just, I don't know. There is something about as much as I have learned on how to protect myself from these mass media, annoyances and little loose traps in the headlines, and the war, the monkey pox, the this, the that. I'm pretty immune to all that stuff. It really doesn't faze me. But if I get, that phone call, it'll
drag you right in when it's in your real life, innit? Because like say these things happen in your real life, these on the news, everything like that. It's not real. It's not actually happening in your life.
Right.
Only on.
And it goes back to my bigger theory is like bad shit does happen in the world, but it's close to home. It's like the bad stuff, the stuff that really affects us. Like, just turn off, as much as September 11th seemed to affect us, because we all know where we were on that day or whatever, it didn't really. You have to take your shoes off at the airport, so there's lingering effects, but it didn't really affect you in the, in a
In the way they
real
want you to
in the
think.
way
So,
they
like,
want you to think that it did.
Yeah.
It just happened to you on TV.
But some people are more involved in that than they need to be. Like, I had this conversation with someone the other day, and I dropped in, like, I don't think anybody died and stuff. Should have seen it. There's like, I know someone. Oh, so you're in the UK, you're my age, and you know someone that was there. That was end of conversation. See ya. Like, as soon as he said that, I was like, I can't speak to you. It's not that I don't want to, but I couldn't hold even a conversation after that. That you know someone that was there, and you're in England, and you're my age. You would have been like a little kid.
To bring back September 11th to today, back to the Monkey Pox. Okay. Oh my God, I can't believe this connects. But after the September 11th attacks, the United States actually considered immunizing the entire population to protect against a terrorist attack using smallpox. Like they were threatening, like after the terrorist attack on September 11th, all the news was like, what are they gonna do next? What are they gonna do next? They're gonna hit us with a 1-2 punch. And the thought was smallpox. They were gonna release a smallpox, a chemical attack of smallpox. And so there was almost a smallpox inoculation of the entire population of the United States. Okay, fast forward to today. Guess what the vaccine for monkeypox is? Is the smallpox vaccine.
Oh.
It's back to September 11th. It's like shades of September 11th. Oh, boy. Yeah, so the smallpox vaccine is what they are using to, quote unquote, inoculate against monkeypox. They're not developing its own vaccine. They're using...
Just the cycle, isn't it? Round and round. Like, do you know what else is coming back round? The Will Smith slap. So Dave Chappelle was slapped. Did you see that?
Yes.
And the guy who slapped him was inspired by Will Smith, he says.
Oh my God.
It's fucking, honestly, some of the crap.
That's as good about Will Smith.
As good as the news gets at the minute for me.
Did you see too, like him coming back? He said something about how.
Have you seen the guy who
ayahuasca? So apparently Will Smith had a vision of losing his career before the slap. Like he went, I'm reading, 10 hours ago. This is brand new news. I saw this like briefly last night and I was like, next. Okay, but apparently Will Smith was on David Letterman and he told David Letterman that he had a drug-induced vision about his career being destroyed right before the Oscar slap. He went and did an ayahuasca retreat, and on his ayahuasca trip, he was like, he visualized his career his whole life getting destroyed, his career getting destroyed, and then it happened. I mean, this is all fabricated narratives, but and it's just funny that he's talking so openly about these ayahuasca, like these mind trips, and like, I don't know, this it should just go to bed. Like, we don't want to hear anything else from you, Will. Like, it was all staged. It wasn't a real slap. This copycat slap that happened, that's all staged too.
Have you seen who it is, though? This is actually a man, but it's actually a woman, I would say, but they say it's a man.
Another
looks like and it's just got the soulless eyes again.
Yeah. Yep. How do these people even get in? How do these people, like, is it the whole security aspect of these? Like,
I still feel like there's more coming from that slap. I feel like it had the bigger agenda that we've not yet got to. That's why they're keeping it going, like the Dave Chappelle one now, and then I'm sure there's going to be more. But building up to something else. Like
the idea of a slap,
don't do it for nothing, do they?
What is the bigger idea of a slap? You slap someone into reality. You know what I mean? Or you slap someone awake. You slap, like, if someone faints, like back in the day, you used to slap them to get them awake. Or if someone's acting crazy, if someone's like you would slap them back
to get their senses back.
To get their senses back. Is that what we're being? Is the slap? Because, like, who slaps anyway? Like the slug and get punched. Like, who goes up and slaps anyone? But the fact that it's a slap specifically, I feel like there's something there. There's something there. There's something grander with the gesture.
Slap the sense into you.
Yes, we need to get our senses slapped back into us for sure. That's what we'll meditate on that. Well, we hit on animal genitalia, check. September 11th, check. Tranigate, check.
Yeah. For the next episode, I'm going to have the sloths down. I'm going to sit today and just watch sloth porn.
You count those penises, Rambo. You count every single one of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, report back. I want to hear all of it.
I will. I've been collecting bits and bobs. I've literally got some collected from ages ago, but I can't. There's too much for me to go all the way back looking for when I used to collect it. So
you've just got you've got a whole mess of sloth penises to go through.
Sloth penises all over the show on the gallery.
If anyone were to find our search history, our desktop, what all the files we got saved everywhere, they would be like, "What the fuck are these people?"
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even conspiracy. This is just wild, weird shit.
Yeah, that's.
I don't even know what we're looking at. I'm gonna.
And I've got it all screenshotted, like you say. On my camera roll is just.
Oh my god. Okay, so my biggest
stuff.
fear. So my camera roll is insane on my phone, just insane. It's exactly like what you're saying. I have no idea, like just the weirdest shit is on there. And some people will be like, "Oh, can I see a picture of your dog?" And I'm like, "Okay, that means I have to open my phone. I have to find a picture of the dog and do all this while scrolling through all these weird ass photos and do it while they're not seeing me scroll through these weird photos, find a picture of the dog, then show them. Hopefully they don't try to scroll anywhere because it's like, then I don't know if you're going to get a John Bonet picture or you're going to get what kind of templates you're going to show. Who knows? Like what kind of weird shit, a picture of Jeffrey Epstein, like,
yeah.
Ooh, so that's happened to me a couple of times where someone wanted to see a picture on my phone and then they were starting to scroll and I was like, no. Yeah, and it's not even because I've got like dirty stuff on there. It's just like weird ass human vibration stuff that I don't.
Mine's like pandas having sex, gorillas.
Rambo, where does that fall on LGBTQ?
Yeah, put it in there somewhere. It's boy. I'm just looking through it now. It's crazy to look at. Actually, just
somebody's got to do it.
It's actually here, like I've got this like animatronic baby with a man's head. It's a robot. It's like showing the. I was going to use it a while back to like show like these Hollywood babies, and they can just they're not even real. They don't have to be real. But
if I were an officer
and
pulled you over for some reason and saw that on your phone, I'd take you straight to the clink, straight to the. This person's doing some weird stuff. Let's take them. Sergeant, all there are animatronic babies and panda penises on their phone. This person needs to be locked up for life.
Yeah, that's
been a real sick one.
Gorillas hugging women and stuff. That's all sorts of it. Honestly, there's so much on it.
A very specific mind we've got here.
We've got this week. We've got the football final. Liverpool. So City. That's another thing. City won the league, so I was kind of wrong a little bit, but one of them.
That's all right.
Win some, you lose
some. That's what we say. What's next on it? What's the next big
weekend is the final game, which is the Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Liverpool. I'm going to try and get something towards that, but like I've talked about on previous episodes of how like in 1981 they've done this, but with this on the Premier League on Sunday, it's kind of made me have to re-look at what I've been doing, you know.
Yeah, reevaluate. I like it. We're here to reevaluate. We don't know what's going on. We're just very curious.
Some guy made a video on me on TikTok on my tutu thing.
He stole your thing?
No, he gave me
he was giving you props. Okay, good. Good.
On TikTok, but it was quite fun how he put this like dramatic voice over it and everything.
Ooh, send that to me.
Yeah, well, it was quite good.
I usually don't watch TikTok stuff, but I'll make an exception since it's Rambo's. Yeah. Well, all right, Rambo. It was so wonderful to hear your voice and to catch up. We will try not to go that long without talking again. No. It was just the world was kind of quiet, and then my world got a little crazy. It's still ongoing. It's still very loosey. I'm coming out the other side. But I did notice that during this whole thing, like I reverted emotionally. I just reverted. It's just like this, like I'd like just a snap of the fingers, and I was back feeling flooded with my childhood feelings of powerlessness. And even though, like, if I'm rational, it hasn't changed my life whatsoever. Like, this news about my brother has not changed my life, really. But this whole week has just been a tailspin emotionally for myself. Like, and I'm just crawling out of that, getting back to a point where I feel like whole again. It takes it out of me. Anyway, family is the hardest one. I'm still trying to crack that nut about how to not get emotionally sucked in. If I figure that out, well, I'll share, but I'm just kind of sharing my experience because we talk about loosh quite a bit, but we talk about theoretical loosh stuff, the mainstream, but it really does hit close to home. And I think I know a lot of people that have this similar feeling of like, yeah, I'm immune to the news now, but if I'm not immune to my family drama, it's really hard. It's really, 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 really difficult to untether yourself from the family stuff. So I'm learning, I'm trying to figure it out. Anyway, well, that's a little update for me on that end, and we'll catch up soon, Rambo.
Catch up soon.
Okay.